Hello, what's going on, guys? My name is Cryptoscope, and today I'm bringing you guys finally, at long last, the final album review in the series of, Coldplay CDs. And here we have the last one, the last one in the series, the first album from Coldplay, their debut, Parachutes. So, yeah, this was released in 2000. This is their first full length album. Originally, they recorded the Ode to Deodorant / Brothers and Sisters EP in 1997. Then in 1998 they recorded the Safety EP, and then in 1999 they recorded both the Brothers and Sisters EP and the Blue Room EP, which on the Blue Room EP there are two tracks that translated into this album. The opener, Don't Panic, and the High Speed, which is track number 8. Yeah, so I really like this album. Sorry, just the like. Yeah, I really like this album. It's got some fantastic songs. As a debut, it's they are trying things out. They're starting off, but I mean, it does show that they have quite a couple of recordings on their back catalog, and again the EPs that I just mentioned. And yeah, well, it starts off with Don't Panic, which is a great song. There's a lot of this album mainly is like an acoustic piece, full of ballads mainly, with the only exception being Yellow, the big single, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and maybe Everything's Not Lost, which is the closer. Besides that, and Shiver, of course, yeah, the lead single. Besides that, it's 11 songs that are just ballads essentially. It's really great. Again, it's very there's a very warm feeling about this. The bass sort of goes into jazzy / bluesy territory. Tracks like on Sparks, High Speed, and Everything's Not Lost. The bass feels really warm, and again feels sort of jazzy kind of in a way. Guy Berryman does a fantastic job. And Chris Martin, he still sings a lot in his lower register on this album, rather than going more into falsetto and a higher pitched voice on later albums, such as the more recent ones like Milo Siloto and A Head Full of Dreams. And yeah, again, Don't Panic, very warm song, nice intro to the album. It's fairly short, it's 2.5 minutes, I believe, and yeah, again, it works really great. Again, a roll of warm electric guitars, falsetto. It's great. Then it goes into Shiver, which is sort of probably the most upbeat song on the entire record. The lead single features some great drums from Will Champion and more great guitar work. This time, Chris' acoustic guitar shines a lot more in the mix, and a lot of people know the song as well. But I mean, Don't Panic sort of talks about the end of the world, kind of, which is sort of fitting, for right now, with the whole asteroid kind of thing. It's 2019. This video's late now. And yeah, again, there is Shiver is about sort of this woman that this guy admires and like follows her. It's a bit of a creepy song, much like Radiohead's Creep. And actually, there's a lot of Radiohead influence in the Blue Room EP. You can go check it out. It's I think it's on iTunes and Spotify. The song "Bigger Stronger," which was the single from the Blue Room EP, sounds like Radiohead and Muse as well. So that's pretty cool. Then you have as I was saying, "Shiver" is this sort of a song about this guy that is in love with a girl, but this girl doesn't, talk to him or anything, which is, I mean, yeah, the 2000s. Anyway, yeah, then it goes into Spies, which is one of my favorite songs on the entire record. It's very cinematic, features some great strings, violins, and that sort of stuff. The drums also are amazing on this, and again, the lyrics sort of talk about a place that is controlled by the government, and spies are in every corner. That's the main mantra of the song. And again, I really like it. It's very cinematic. The guitar is also great. It has this little like riff after the chorus, which is really great. The bridge is also pretty intense. I quite like that. It goes up in tone, and yeah, which is then brought to sort of a similar song but very different as well, which is a nice sort of a nice thing they had going on. Sparks, which is maybe the most low key, the lowest key song on the album. Um, it's very laid back, very stripped down. It's again probably the most like jazz blues club kind of sound to it. The bass really shines in here. It's very warm and tasty bass. And yeah, what else? There is the you sort of get the feeling. I mean, to me, when I listen to it, I get the feeling of being inside of like an old cottage. Yeah, outside there's a lot of snow and this sort of stuff. Very nice song. I mean, to me, it's the second least interesting song on the record. I mainly skip it. If I'm in a good mood, in the mood to listen to the album, I'll leave it. But I don't really grasp onto it. I know a lot of people really like it, but I mean, not for me. What else? Yeah, I think that's it for Sparks. Again, it's very low key. Very, if you like ballads, it's definitely one for you. Then you have Yellow, which is obviously the big single from the album. They still play it in every show. It's got the most distorted guitar on the entire album. Starts off with obviously the acoustic. It's very simple, very drum beat, the guitar, the lyrics. They're very simple. It's a very simple song, but it works really great. And again, that distorted guitar riff is absolutely fire. And of course, this was inspired by Chris writing a song about a girl that he loves very much, and he was like, well, what do we call it? He needed like a phrase, and he saw the Yellow Pages, and bam, hit single. I really like it. Seeing it live is amazing. I got the chance to watch it in their latest tour, the Head Full of Dreams tour, and yeah, it was just unbelievable. Then we have Trouble, which is mainly a piano-led piece with Martin on it. There is the piano takes over the guitar, and the guitar doesn't really shine a lot except for the outro of the song, which is obviously Guy Berryman, this freaking light. Guy Berryman mainly does it. And yeah, I mean, it's a great track as well, talking about not regretting sort of causing someone trouble and telling them, well, I never meant to cause you trouble. That's the main chorus of the song. And yeah, it's really great. There is the piano playing is really great, again, really showing Martin's ability as a pianist. And yeah, everyone else just sort of adds to the piano and Martin's great voice as well. And yeah, the next song, the title track, Parachutes. I think it's Parachutes. The main title track is one of the, actually, it may be the shortest Coldplay song. I mean, I know you have like intros on Milo Siloto and such, and there is Color Spectrum on A Head Full of Dreams, but those are those are instrumentals more than anything. And okay, but this actually has some lyrics. It's 49 seconds long. For it to be the title track, it's a bit weird. I mean, I really like it. It's just Martin acoustic guitar, but it's nice. I mean, you can't really get into it because it's over before it even began. But I really like it. I think it's a nice little, sort of change of pace from the early tracks to the following three last tracks, which I don't know. To me, they sound like a sort of a different. They have a different feel to them. High Speed starts this sort of second side, even though it isn't. If it were on vinyl, excuse me. This is, I mean, Don't Panic and High Speed, as I mentioned earlier, are tracks that came from the Blue Room EP. Don't Panic is a very different version on the Blue Room EP. It's a lot more sort of acoustic and intimate, I would call it. While High Speed is the exact same track, just copy and paste it. It has some really great bass on it. Not too many interesting lyrics here. And again, it's really great. It's also very atmospheric. There's a lot of like production and synths going around, which is pretty great. And yeah, again, in the outro of the songs, it builds up sort of, which is pretty which is kind of a crescendo level, and I really like it. Then We Never Change, which is also one of the slowest songs on the record. And it's mainly Martin and an acoustic guitar. The other guys do show up, but it's mainly just Martin, and it's great. It has some amazing falsetto from Martin as well. And yeah, I mean, again, it's very low key, sort of like Sparks, but turned up a notch a little, and with sort of more with a more fired up Martin, I guess I would call it. Not like as in angry, but he's a little more awake. Whether in Sparks, he's sort of falling asleep, kind of. And then finally, we have Everything's Not Lost, the closer, which, pretty much has Elton John written all over it. I really like it. I think it's a standout moment on the record and on Coldplay's career, really. I mean, we had Amsterdam on Rush of Blood to the Head here, but nothing quite came close to Everything's Not Lost up until maybe Death and All His Friends on Viva 8 years later. But again, I really like this. It's very uplifting. Probably the single happiest song on the record. Well, maybe besides Yellow. But again, it's very uplifting. The piano is amazing. Guy Berryman's bass also is unbelievable on this track. And it really complements, again, the four guys playing their respective instruments really come together on this song and give us an amazing closer. At the end of the track, it reaches an amazing crescendo as well, with Martin just singing, "Oh, it's gonna be fine." Essentially, again, don't panic, everything's not lost. You get the point. Sorry. Well, I didn't talk about. I mean, Parachutes is sort of also a love song, kind of. High Speed is just about living life in a bubble, and We Never Change. Well, it's also, and that's pretty much self-explanatory. I mean, we never change, even though time goes on and everything. And yeah, again, everything's not lost. It's great. You really need to listen to that track. And yeah, then there's a hidden track, Life Is For Living, which is not actually on the track listing, as you can see right here. But that's also pretty great. It's got a lot of horns on it, and it's pretty great. I've been saying great for all of these songs. I'm sorry. I just really like the album. Again, it has a lot of horns on it. It's very uplifting, just like Everything's Not Lost. Yeah, it's a pretty nice, closer for the album. And again, it's a very acoustic, intimate record. They throw everything out the window on Rush of Blood to the Head, but I think it's a pretty great debut. And again, in my opinion, just two weak songs. They aren't even weak. I just I need to be in the mood to listen to those. But everything else is absolutely amazing. Again, Parachute maybe could have been a little longer. A little more interesting, but I think it works pretty great. And yeah, so that was the review. This is the end of the Coldplay discography review. I may review the Kaleidoscope EP, which also came out a little while ago. Yeah, I may review it just as a bonus. But yeah, I think this is it for the Coldplay review until they maybe release another record. And yeah, so I hope you liked it. There will be a playlist in the description so that you can go watch throughout the history of the channel all the reviews that I've done for Coldplay. And yeah, next up I'll be reviewing more albums. I'll be posting more gameplays. The Meet the Robinsons remastered Let's Play will be coming up with the next few chapters. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys on the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching this freaking light. Again, thanks for watching.